a podcast powered by Jordan's Guardian Angels. I'm Christina Janes, Director of Outreach and Awareness for Jordan's Guardian Angels, and I am joined today with our project director, Carol Backos, as well. Carol, thanks so much for spending some time together.
Yes, hi Christina.
This is going to be a fun day. Today we're doing something special. We're talking about You Are Not Alone. It's a short special edition of our Rare Reality podcast. And uh, Carol, this came out of every year for Yara's birthday, you write about her. You write about her experience, about being her mom, about you guys being her parents. And so this You Are Not Alone series came out of just writing and expressing your thoughts.
Yeah, they're basically random reflections really about
Mm-hmm.
life so far, right? Every year for her birthday, we use that opportunity to share a little more, give our people a glimpse of what it's like to be her parents and be her mom and what it's like to be her in some ways. And I think it's just an opportunity to let people know, what it's like to live this life, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a opportunity to spread more about education on the syndrome and just rare diseases in general.
Yeah, and I think that these are topics that everyone can relate to. I think for our first edition of this, we're going to talk about acceptance, and I think what you wrote is it's so telling. It's something that I think a lot of families who have children with special needs can relate to, but also families who don't. I mean, there's acceptance in general that needs to happen for everybody. So I think read it for everybody so that they know what we're talking about, and then we can discuss.
All right, acceptance. Do we accept that our daughter has a rare diagnosis? Do we accept that she is different? Do we accept that the life we might have dreamt for her has been uniquely shaped? What a concept. What a concept to be put through as a parent. A test of our unwavering love to a child that had no choice in the matter. There are lots of articles about the grief cycle that parents go through, grieving the image of a child that only existed in our imagination. While the reality could be hard, acceptance could come naturally. The questions become: how do we support our daughter with her rare diagnosis? How do we raise her to embrace her differences? How do we celebrate how uniquely shaped her life will be? This mental shift to what is versus what could have been is key to help center us and drive us to what our child needs us to be, and not the other way around.
Mm-hmm. I think it's so telling because there's so many families who go through this and you get this diagnosis, whatever that may be, whether it's something in the rare disease space or in a different realm, and you think about what does this mean? What are the implications? What does this mean long term? Also, what what could have happened for your child that may be different than the actual outcome?
Right. Yeah, I mean, and you're right, Christina, that this concept is not unique for families in the rare space or with disabilities. It's you reach at any point a moment where your child wants to be different than what you had in mind, or it could be as simple as like, hey, I want a tattoo, or whatever it can be, and then you're like, okay, that's not quite what I had in mind for you, but do I support you? Do I help raise you and guide you so you can embrace what you want, whether they're same as the 80 other kids in your class or not, right? So, and and a lot of parents struggle with that, especially initially, because you get hit with like diagnosis that no one can explain, and then you're like, okay, what do I do with that? And it's kind of heartbreaking thinking, okay, this is causing me grief and
Mm-hmm.
tears, and your child is like this little baby and bundle of joy that just appeared in your life, and
Right.
you love them enough, and but at the same time you struggle with your own emotions and in many ways. So
I think it comes across the board. We've talked before that our son at birth was he failed his infant hearing screening, and so he's hard of hearing. He has bilateral sensory neural hearing loss both years. Wears hearing aids, and so for us, we know that We looked at that and thought, how did this happen? We have an unknown diagnosis. We don't know why it happened. Much like many of these families go through, why did something like this happen to my child? And I think you are left with that why, and you're left constantly feeling like, okay, what could have been different? What could I have done? How could this have been different? But then you look at it in the big picture, and I think what we're going through with Jake right now, he's 4, is that we're teaching him to the acceptance of himself, acceptance to teach his friends how to accept him in a different way. And if we give him the tools to explain why he wears hearing aids on a daily basis, why he's a little different than his friends, and he feels confident in it too, and they feel confident in accepting him in the same way. So there's so much to this that if we project it in the right way and make sure that he knows that he's loved and is accepted here at home, that going forward he feels the same way too.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, and it's exactly that, giving them the tools. Like I always say, Yara enters a room and her ego fills it up, right? She is who she is and she doesn't care, she's like, this is me, take it or leave it, and we love that about her, and we want to keep that for as long as we can. And our message has always been, we're all different, and guess what, that's okay.
And it is okay, and that's the best part. So acceptance, it's sort of today's lesson, if you will, for this short special edition of A Rare Reality. You're not alone, that's for sure. More to come on these.
Thanks, Christina.
Thanks, Carol. And also, these are posted not only on our website, jordansguardianangels.org, or on all of social media. So on Facebook, if you find Jordan's Guardian Angels there, and on Instagram, also on your favorite place that you can listen to your podcast all across the board. So look for them there. Thanks for joining us.